Hey friends, welcome back to another video. My name is Gloria and today I'm going to be doing the 1001 books tag. I've seen quite a few people in the little booktube community space that I follow do this tag, and I really appreciate Rachel B for tagging me. I'm gonna tag some people right off the bat. So I will tag Tiffany from Beautiful Minutia, Becca from Hicks Picks Books, and Melissa from Libraries and Labradors. This is a fun tag originally created by Miss Reads a Lot from her channel. She created this tag because she is doing the 1001 books to read in your lifetime challenge, and a lot of those are classics, I believe. So join me and answer some questions if you so desire. The questions and original video are linked down below. The first question is 1001 lists. Do you follow any lists of books or books to read in your lifetime kind of thing? So Sandy from Miss Reads a Lot is doing the 1001 book challenge. I know a personal friend of mine who doesn't have a social media presence. She's actually also doing that. She's following like a book that has a bunch of books to read in your lifetime, and she's really enjoying it. She's saying that it's getting her to read a lot of stuff she would have never picked up before, so that's really fun. But I personally am not really following any lists. I guess I have a personal TBR, but I'm not following like a blog list or a book that tells you what books you should read. Maybe someday, but for now I have a very large personal TBR of books that I want to read, and some of those are on some lists because I have quite a few classics that I'd love to get to and that kind of stuff, but not like an actual like published list of sorts. The next question is 1001 books. Approximately how many physical books do you currently own? So I counted and I'm at 289, so very close to 300 books, and that's including both books that my husband owns as well as myself. So we have 289 or so books total in the house. That's a good number. I definitely hope to decrease that. I have been purchasing a lot more than I would like to, and so I definitely want to read a lot of the books that are on my shelves and then get rid of the ones that I don't care about and only keep the ones that I really love. That's the goal. I don't know when that will happen. Booktube and working at the library, very dangerous place. The next question is 1001 books read. Approximately how many books have you read in your lifetime, and do you keep track? I do keep track. I keep track on Goodreads and on Storygraph, and according to Goodreads, I have read 373 books. Now I really only started using Goodreads, I want to say in like 2014, and so it's really only been since then, but I did try to include some books that I remember definitely reading in high school, elementary school, but that's obviously not including anything that I remember reading when I was a kid, and so that number in my lifetime I think wouldn't exceed 800. Like I think I'm around maybe that number in my lifetime, but could be lower, could be higher, I have no idea. Next question is 1001 Arabian Nights. Have you read any stories from the Arabian Nights? Do you have a favorite? If you haven't read it, do you want to? I have not. I don't even know what that is. I think it's potentially something to do with Aladdin, maybe? I have no idea. I'm assuming it's a classic short story collection. I have not read it, and I'm sorry, I don't really have a desire to read it. Apologies, but that's a classic that's not really on my current priority list. And the next question is 1001 flavors. Do you have a favorite food or flavor? I love explosions of flavors and just very satiating food. I love to feel satisfied, and usually it's something with carbs. So I love pizza so much. Just delicious. Pizza is incredible. I love anything potatoes, mashed potatoes, fried potatoes, roasted potatoes, french fries, any form of potato anywhere. Love it. Absolute favorite thing ever. And I also love Mexican flavors, spiciness, lime, avocado, like tart and spicy and fresh. But yeah, I love all kinds of food. I'm not really picky. I'll try anything. The next question is 1001 pages. Have you read a book that is over 1001 pages? Is there one that you recommend and is worth the time? What is the longest book you have read? I have read a book that is over 1001 pages, and that was a recent read, and that is Drums of Autumn by Diana Gabaldon. This is the 4th book in the Outlander series, and this is a mass market paperback edition, and it is 1070 pages. But I'm currently in the middle of the 5th book, and the 5th book is even longer. It's 1443 pages. So I think as the series continues, they might get bigger. Not entirely sure. But right now, this is the biggest book that I have read, and I read it just a couple months ago. And is it worth your time? Depends if you like historical romance. This is a really epic historical family saga drama that follows multiple characters, multiple years. I'm quite enjoying it. The first book is definitely still a favorite, and none of the other books in the series have beat it. But I totally also understand why people don't like the series, because there is a lot of really tough things written in the series. There's a lot of trauma, death, sexual abuse, some sexual content, language. There's stuff in here that I totally understand why people would avoid and not pick up. I would look into the series and do your due diligence if you have things that you don't like in books, because most likely, as long as the series is, it probably contains some sort of trigger that you might not enjoy in books. But I'm enjoying it personally. The next question is 1001 buckets. Do you have a non-bookish bucket list? What is one thing on that list? I do remember actually making a physical bucket list, and I had it on my MySpace page. Way back when MySpace used to be a thing, I remember I had it listed on my profile. I don't remember anything that was on that list except for one thing, and that was to milk a cow. That was on my bucket list randomly. I have no idea why. I still haven't done it, so I maybe will hope to do that someday in my life. But I've done the skydiving thing. I actually have a video about it. I've done bungee jumping. I've done like some big things. Right now in my life, the only really thing that's on my bucket list of stuff that I truly care about is traveling. I've done quite a bit of traveling already, but I have a million places I still would love to travel to. So really traveling and specific travel destinations or specific kinds of travel trips are on my bucket list. The next question is 1001 numbers. Do you have a lucky number? Is there a story behind it? I don't really have superstitions or like a look into numerology. My husband's number is 13 because that was his jersey number when he was a kid. So he just likes the number 13, and that's like our family number now. If we ever need to have a number for whatever thing, we'll just use 13. Next question is 1001 authors. Do you have a favorite author and or genre? Yes, favorite genre is historical fiction and then nonfiction. In terms of favorite author, I really only have one answer to this question, and that is Ruta Sepetys, because I have actually read all of her books and they were either 4 or 5-star reads, and I truly love her books and love her writing and will pick up anything she writes. She is a young adult author though, so I'm not her intended audience. Not that there's anything wrong with reading young adult as an adult, but I do want to try to find an adult author that I consider a favorite. And I think right now, potentially based on one book of theirs that I've read, both Amy Harmon and Susan Meisner have the potential to become favorite authors in historical fiction, but I really feel like I need to read at least 3 books from an author and have them be outstanding for me to consider them a favorite author. So I have some work to do, and I hope that in 2022 I'll be able to have a more concrete list of favorite authors. And lastly, 1001 activities. Do you have a favorite outdoor activity? I'm not that big of an outdoorsy girl. I'm pretty flexible and spontaneous to a certain degree, so like I'm kind of up for anything, but in my true heart of hearts, I'm very lazy, and so I don't really care about hiking. I'll go on a hike here and there, you know, with friends, and it'll be fun and I'll enjoy it, but I don't like love it. I'm not like seeking it out always. I'm not really sporty. I was never into sports. I never played sports. I kind of was just like the homebody kid. If I'm gonna do an outdoor activity, it's gonna be in summertime. That's why summer is my favorite. It's gonna be nice and warm outside, and I'm gonna get a picnic blanket and a little picnic basket and a book and a friend, and we're gonna go to a park and we're gonna watch the sunset in the park, and dusk is like my favorite time of day. That's like my perfect outdoor atmosphere. So yeah, there you go. Now you know a little bit more about me. Thank you, Miss Reads a Lot, for making this tag, and thank you again, Rachel, for tagging me, and I'll see you guys in another video soon. Bye!